Why does your brain make you unhappy? Imagine someone gave you the most powerful computer ever created. It can solve millions of problems at once, predict the future, learn from mistakes, and control an entire body. Now here's the twist. That computer was never designed to make you happy. Its main job is much simpler, to keep you alive. That's why your brain sometimes feels like it's working against you. It makes you worry, overthink, replay embarrassing moments, or feel like nothing is ever enough. But your brain isn't trying to make you miserable. It's just following a very old survival program. Your brain is living in the past. The human brain evolved over hundreds of millions of years. Back then, there were no smartphones, apartments, or grocery stores. Every single day was a fight to survive. There could be a predator hiding behind a bush. A stranger could be dangerous. A new berry might be poisonous. People who stayed too relaxed or too happy often didn't notice danger until it was too late. And if they didn't survive, they didn't pass on their genes. So evolution didn't build a brain that makes us happy. It built one that keeps us alive. Why do bad things stick more than good ones? Imagine two things happen today. Someone gives you a genuine compliment. Then later, one person leaves a rude comment online. Which one will you keep thinking about tonight? For most people, it's the negative one. Scientists call this the negativity bias. Your brain naturally pays more attention to bad experiences than good ones. Why? Because missing a compliment doesn't really matter. That's why your brain treats negative information like it's more important. It's the reason one mean comment can ruin your day, even if 10 people said something nice. What is happiness, biologically? A lot of people talk about a happiness hormone. The truth is much more interesting. Your emotions are created by a whole team of chemicals, and each one has a different job. Dopamine isn't the happiness chemical. This might be the biggest myth about the brain. Dopamine doesn't make you happy. It makes you want things. Imagine you see a delicious pizza, or you get a text from someone you like, or you start browsing your favorite online store. That's when dopamine kicks in. Not because you've already gotten the reward, but because your brain is saying, go get it. Dopamine is your motivation system. It pushes you toward rewards. That's why the anticipation is often more exciting than the reward itself. Ever spend weeks researching a new phone? Watching reviews, comparing models, imagining how great it'll be. Then you finally buy it, and a week later, it's just your phone. That's not because you're ungrateful. That's dopamine doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Once you've reached the goal, dopamine drops. Then your brain starts looking for the next one. Why do new things stop making us happy? Because your brain adapts incredibly fast. Scientists call this hedonic adaptation. It's a fancy term for something simple. Good things become normal. A new car, a bigger apartment, a raise at work. Even falling in love creates an incredible chemical rush at first. But over time, your brain says, this is normal now, and the excitement fades. If that didn't happen, we'd lose the motivation to keep growing and exploring. Serotonin, the feeling that life is okay. If dopamine pushes us forward, serotonin helps us feel okay right where we are. It's linked to calmness, confidence, emotional stability, and a sense of well-being. Here's something surprising. A large amount of the body's serotonin is actually produced in the gut. That's one reason sleep, nutrition, exercise, and gut health can all affect your mood. No, eating yogurt won't magically cure depression, but it does show how closely your brain and body work together. Cortisol, your brain's alarm system. Now imagine a smoke detector. It's incredibly useful when there's a fire. But what if it went off all day, every day? That's what happens when cortisol stays high for too long. Cortisol is your main stress hormone. When your brain detects danger, cortisol helps you survive. Your heart beats faster. Your blood sugar rises. Your muscles get more energy. That's exactly what you want. If the danger lasts 5 minutes. The problem is that your brain doesn't always know the difference between a real threat and a psychological one. A work deadline, an argument, money problems, negative comments online. Your brain can react to these almost the same way it would react to a predator. So it keeps your body in survival mode, even when you're perfectly safe. Why do we feel anxious for no reason? Because your brain is constantly making predictions. every second of every day. It's always asking, what could happen next? And when it doesn't have enough information, it often assumes the worst. From an evolutionary standpoint, that's actually a smart strategy. If you're wrong and worry for nothing, you waste a little energy. If you're wrong and ignore a real danger, you might not survive. That's why our brains naturally overestimate risk. Why are social media apps so addictive? Because they take advantage of ancient brain circuits. Every notification, every like, every unexpected video. It's a small, unpredictable reward. And unpredictable rewards trigger especially strong dopamine responses. That's why it's so hard to stop scrolling. Your brain keeps thinking, maybe the next swipe will be even better. This is the exact same psychological principle used in slot machines. You don't win every time, and that's exactly what keeps people playing. So, is real happiness even possible? Absolutely. But here's the catch. Your brain wasn't designed to keep you happy all the time. And that's okay. If humans felt permanently happy, we'd stop exploring, learning, improving, and solving problems. Happiness isn't meant to be a permanent state. It's a series of moments that appear between challenges. And maybe that's exactly what makes those moments so meaningful. What actually helps your brain feel better? The surprising part is that the most effective things aren't very complicated. Getting enough sleep, moving your body, spending time with people you trust, getting sunlight, doing work that feels meaningful, learning something new. Over time, these habits literally change how your brain works. Not overnight, but much more than most people realize. The big takeaway: your brain isn't a happiness machine. It's a survival machine. Its job is to spot danger before it becomes life-threatening. That's why it notices problems faster than blessings. It remembers failures longer than successes. It keeps chasing the next goal instead of enjoying the one you've already reached. But once you understand how your brain works, something changes. You stop believing every anxious thought. You realize that sometimes it's not reality that's making you unhappy. It's an ancient survival program that helped your ancestors stay alive for millions of years. The world has changed. Your brain is still catching up.